Today I'm going to be talking about how to make custom thumbnails for your videos using Photoshop. Thumbnails are something that I've been focusing on quite a lot for the past few months, but when I just started out making videos on YouTube, it was something that always came in last. It was never on top of my priority list when it came to making videos. But thumbnails and titles are important, and if you don't have a good thumbnail or title, you might lose out on the next person that's going to click on your video. And as I've said before, I've been investing a lot of time in my thumbnails, making thumbnails like this, and this one. And for me, the process of making thumbnails is really fun since I come from a design background, and the challenge when it comes to making new thumbnails is also a really great learning curve. So in this video, I would like to show you just how easy it can be to make really good looking thumbnails in Photoshop. This tutorial will cover all the bases when it comes to making thumbnails using Photoshop. So if you're a beginner or advanced, this video will have you covered. So let's go ahead and jump right into Photoshop. So let's create a new file. I'm going to choose print and A5, and I'm also going to change my orientation and bitrate to 16, and then you should click create. So this is a photo I took of the laptop, and what we would need to do first is to cut it out. And for this, I will be using the pen tool. So click on the pen tool and start tracing the edges to cut out your picture. To make it easier, you can zoom in, and the shortcut for that is Ctrl+. When you trace around the edges, you have to close the trace on the pen, and to do this, you have to press Alt and left click. If you don't do this, the trace won't lock and you won't get those nice round edges. Okay, so after we've traced the laptop, hit right click and click on Make a Selection and put your feather radius on 1, so that the edges would be a bit softer. Then press Ctrl C to copy your image, and again Ctrl V to paste it again. Okay, so now I'm going to cut out this picture of me using the pen tool again. To make it easier, you can zoom in to make sure you get close to all of your edges. Also remember, when tracing on round curves, just hit Alt and right click to stop your trace. This is to get nice round curves. Once we are done tracing again, you can hit right click, click on Make Selection, and keep the feather radius on 1 for soft edges. Now let's make a new document in Photoshop for our thumbnail. Choose 1280 by 720 and make sure it is on pixels. Also choose 16-bit RGB color and make sure your resolution is on 300 for the best quality. So let's drag our two images onto our new file and scale it back, since the new document that we are working with is much smaller than our A5 document. Now I'm just going to go back to the pen tool to cut out the screen of the laptop. Once you're finished, right click and click on Make a Selection, and this time I'm going to make my feather radius 0 for some sharper edges. Hit Ctrl D to delete your selection. For the background image on a laptop screen, I'm simply going to print screen thumbnails on YouTube and paste it into Photoshop by using Ctrl V and then scale it down by hitting Ctrl T. When you scale down your image, hold Shift in to make sure it scales correctly with the aspect ratio. Then move your layer down so that the image will be behind the laptop and scale to fit. Now I would like to add some blur on the image, and to do this, click on the triangle and select the blur brush. You can simply then go over your image and blur it out with the brush. Again, I'm just going to scale the image to make it a bit bigger and simply hit Ctrl E to get my eraser tool and brush out some of the edges. Now let's click on the image of me and hit Ctrl T to scale and rotate the image. Then you can move the layer so that it will be above your laptop. Now we have to cut out some parts of the image, and a very easy way to do this is to drag down the opacity, zoom in and go to the pen tool and trace it out. Again, right click and select Make a Selection, then hit Ctrl E for the eraser and simply brush it out. Bring back the opacity to 100%, and there we go. Now I would like to make my hand pop out just a bit more, and to do this I'm gonna go back to the pen tool and trace it out and hit right click to make a selection, then press Ctrl C to copy and Ctrl V to paste the hand. Then you can hit Ctrl T to scale your image, and just remember to hold Shift when doing this. Then you can position your hand so that it would look like it's coming out of the laptop screen. Okay, now select all 4 layers, hit Ctrl T and rotate and scale the image to make it a bit bigger. I'm also gonna go back to the image of me and hit Ctrl T to make it just a bit bigger and to position the image a bit better. I think I will also scale the image of my hand. Now onto the background. Click on your background layer, and for this one I'm going to choose a nice blue color. Hit Ctrl G, left click to fill your layer, then make a new layer above the background layers, choose a white color, then click on your ellipse tool and make 2 circles. To copy the other circle, hold down Alt, left click and simply drag it. Place your circles and go to Filter and select Gaussian Blur. Drag down the blur radius a bit until it looks soft enough. Repeat the step onto the second circle also. Now we've created some depth in our background. Next, you can drag down the opacity on the circles to also make them just a tiny bit softer. So for the next step, I would like to add some gloss so that it would look like my hand is actually breaking through the laptop screen. So let's go ahead and do that. Here I'm gonna click on the first one and scale it down a bit. Then go to my layers mode and select screen. I'm also going to position this layer behind me, so just drag it down so that the layer will be underneath the picture of me. The next steps, I'm going to do the same thing with the glass layers and try to find the correct position for all of them. So let's have a look at that now. I will also brush out some of the glass textures by hitting Ctrl E to get my eraser tool. Now it's starting to look quite good, but I'm not done just yet. I'm going to go to my layer adjustments and then add a quick lookup over the whole image to make it pop just a bit more. Here I chose the Fuji Eterna lookup table. I'm gonna go back to my adjustments layer and dial down the opacity to make it blend just a bit better. And just look at that, so much better now. I think I can do one more thing to this image. So I want to make the background just a bit darker, and to do this I will create a new layer and choose a darker blue color. You have to make sure that your brush is a bit bigger now and also that the hardness is on soft. Then simply brush in some darker blue colors. You can also play around with the opacity here again, but I'm liking where this is right now. So let's go through all the layers quickly to show you where we started and where we have ended up. And just like that, you've created a custom thumbnail. So there you have it, and I hope this video has helped you out when it comes to making custom thumbnails for YouTube videos. If you like this type of content, give me a thumbs up and please leave your comments down below. Remember also to subscribe to my channel and kick that notification bell out there to make sure you don't miss out on any of my future videos. Thanks for watching this video, have an awesome day ahead, and remember, stay creative.